Hey guys, Marisa at KitchenTableStamper.com. Today I've got this really cool shaker card for you. We're going to do a Halloween snow globe. This is one of the two projects that we did today at the Kitchenettes team meeting. So here's the outside of our card. Inside is a fun Have a Spooktacular Halloween. And then this is the matching treat. Find this in part 2 of this video series. Eat, drink, and be scary. And it's got these bloody bites, candy fangs inside. So those were our team meeting projects. The first Monday of the month is the Kitchenettes team meeting. And you can join us local or online and do some fun little projects. Talk about a little business training and just have a good time. So if you've thought about Stampin' Up as a business or a hobby, we love both kinds, the business demonstrators or the hobby demonstrators, and you'd be welcome. If you got questions about Stampin' Up, the opportunity, the starter kit, catalogs, products, you can email Marisa at KitchenTableStamper.com. All right, so let's get started with this card. Let me show you the supplies that you need to make it. I've got my Spooktacular Bash bundle. That includes the Spooktacular Bash stamp set. It's a 9-piece cling mount stamp set and the ornate frames dies. When you bundle those two items together, you can save 10%. And then I also used my 2 Every Season bundle for this little bat. I love to use that to embellish cards. So the 2 Every Seasons is a 23-piece photopolymer set, and the Every Season punch pack is a 4-punch pack with a bat, a leaf, a heart, and a snowflake. That coordinates perfectly with the 2 Every Season stamp set. So when you bundle these 2 products, you can also save 10%. We're only going to use the bat today. I got a little background stamp from Artisan Textures. We're going to use this spatter. I've got my Snow Globe Scenes die set, the Stylish Scrolls embossing folder, my Twinkle Builder punch, and the Stitched Nested Label dies. Stampin' pads for this project are Memento Tuxedo Black and Gorgeous Grape. I'm going to do a little coloring with Stampin' Blends, and I've got Color Lifter, Smoky Slate, Highland Heather, Light Crumb Cake, Light Petal Pink, and Dark Real Red. I'll have a project sheet for you for this project, but let's take a look at the Cardstock Supplies. I've got a Gorgeous Grape card. It's 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4. And then I have my Snow Globe Shaker Dome here. You can get these little shaker domes in packs of 10. I've got a basic black piece that I have cut to 4 by 5 1/4 and then die cut the little opening for our shaker dome. This is the kit, the actual kit that they used at the meeting today. So some of these steps are done ahead for them, for the demonstrator. So I'm just showing you the tools that I use to do those steps ahead. The Stitched Nested Labels die is cut for the inside, and that's done with the largest stitched nested label. Got scraps of Whisper White for stamping my tag and my Dracula. I've cut the pieces of the snow globe base already. I cut the solid piece. Let me show you those dies. I cut the solid piece with Smoky Slate and the ornate piece from black foil. Got a little scrap of basic gray so that we can make a couple of stamped bats to die cut. Here's our basic black ornate frame. We cut that one from basic black with this little scrolly frame die. I also have cut from crushed curry scraps several little stars and moons that I cut with the Twinkle Builder punch. I've also got about 10 inches of this crushed curry crinkled seam binding ribbon. You'll need even more basic gray cardstock to cut some bats with our little bat punch for the inside of our shaker. All right, let's clear this away and do a little bit of stamping. Got my Scrapple Whisper White and Memento Tuxedo Black. We're going to stamp our little vampire. And we'll stamp Open If You Dare. On the inside of the card, I'm going to have a Spooktacular Halloween. So we'll grab that label, stamp that for the inside greeting. Got a little piece of basic gray in my Stampin' Pierce mat here. We're going to just stamp a couple of little bats that we can use for embellishing the front of the card. Gonna liven up our card base a little bit. We've got Gorgeous Grape card base, and we've got Gorgeous Grape ink. I'm gonna take this spatter, and we're going to put some speckles on the Gorgeous Grape card so that they'll be seen in the background of our snow globe. So let's go ahead and stamp a few of those. What I did was I built it out in like quadrants. See? So I stamped it 4 times, kind of radiating out from the center. Then I'm going to do a little bit on the inside too. I'm going to do just a subtle spatter in the upper left and lower right corners. I like to dry fit that panel in there, that label, so we can see about where to stamp. There it is. While we're there, let's grab some adhesive and tape that label inside the card. I'm going to use snail adhesive. And I liked it off center to the right a little bit. Just a little unexpected instead of centered in there. Let's slide this to the side and color our little Dracula. It's pretty simple. You can absolutely just color one shade if you like, or you can do some blending. We're going to do some blending here. I'm going to start with my background, and I'm going to fill it in using little circles with Highland Heather. Alright, background's all filled in with the light Highland Heather. Now we're just going to kind of outline up the right and left sides, and then a little bit into the upper segments here with the dark Highland Heather. And then blend the 2 shades together with the light Highland Heather. The real red, dark real red, and we're going to color his little tie. His face I did light crumb cake. Color his ear, and then down the left side of his face, up the right side, right ear, and then under the hairline. I'm going to take this petal pink and just scribble a little bit on his cheeks for some color. And I'm going to blend all of that back out to white using the color lifter. Do a little of the same on his hands, kind of shadows out the wrists, and then blend it back to white. Then for the frame, I'm going to use light smoky slate. Fill in all the way around, and then on the inner line here, it's kind of divided in 2. I'm going to go down the sides with the dark smoky slate and then kind of halfway up and across the bottom and top. You can blend that together. It's such a small space, it might not need too much help blending together. All right, time to die cut those out and do a little punching. So I'm going to use the frames here from the Ornate frames. Just line them right up along the edge of the image. We can cut both of them at one time. Okay, here's our excellent little labels. Isn't that cute? Look at him. And our open if you dare. Set those aside. Now let's punch out these little bats. Here's our little bats for embellishment. Two of those guys. But we're also going to punch a bunch of little gray bats for the shaker material inside of our snow globe. So let's go ahead and just punch a bunch of these little guys. Okay, so I've got about 12 of these little bats, and I've prepared a few ahead of time and some sequins left over from another project. That's what we're going to use to fill our globe. I've also cut the little dome ahead of time, and it has the bottom edge about 1 3/4 inches from the bottom edge of the dome is about 1 3/4 inches from the bottom of the paper. It ends up being that the dome is just maybe slightly above center. We're going to go ahead and emboss this piece with the stylish scrolls. So let's get the big shot and get that done. All right, we're going to go ahead and pop this guy into the embossing folder. I just want to make sure that it's centered and level. And then run it through. Look at that awesome texture, isn't that cool? All right. Let's start lining up our little vampire here. So we're gonna take your pick tool and just push the remaining little bits out of our label. Now for a placement, what I like to do is just lay this guy down. We're not gonna adhere it or anything. We're just gonna lay it down so we can see where that opening is gonna be. And then we're gonna work in there. We're gonna add our label with snail adhesive right inside that opening. And then we're going to add our vampire. Isn't that cool? Black dimensionals for Halloween cards. Your adhesive will blend right in. Center that guy. Now we can take this apart for just a second here. And we've got our little bats that are stamped. Those are for the outside of the image. We're going to set those aside. But the ones that are for shaker material, we're going to go ahead and pile up all the little bats and all the little sequins right on top of our vampire here. And we'll take our shaker dome and we're going to take this top adhesive off of the dome and we're going to adhere it to our scroll layer of the card. And make sure that you get that in there nice and straight as best you can. And then smooth it down. And it's really important that you seal this well. Then you can go ahead and add more adhesive around that window. Okay, when your adhesive is all around the black, you can go ahead and remove the adhesive from the dome. And you're going to add the dome over the shaker material and your Dracula, making sure that you center your black scroll layer in the purple for a perfect border. Do you see that? We've got that 1/8 inch gorgeous grape all the way around, framing our basic black. You want to burnish this down well before your little items start to shake around so that they don't get stuck in the adhesive of the shaker dome. All right, so there's the beginning of our little shaker card. Too cute. Let's get the base on our snow globe next. So we've cut the detail piece from the black foil. We're gonna go ahead and pop out any of the remaining details here. You can use your die brush for this too and kind of swipe them out. It did cut quite completely. It made a very nice cut. They're just kind of hanging around. It is a clean cut though. I'm going to adhere the foil layer to the basic gray. I like to use a little multi-purpose liquid glue. And just squeeze kind of a drip of glue on the end and then rub it along the back of the base here. And what I'll do is go around the edges entirely, getting those outside edges. Less is more. You really just want to streak the back of it, and then I'll do kind of the main lines across the back here too, kind of the intersecting horizontal lines. It doesn't take a lot of glue for this little piece. You just want to spread it out. Then it'll go right over the gray, line it up. Isn't that a pretty detail? Nice and spooky. And we can adhere this one to the card. Let's get that card back in here. We're gonna put that on with dimensionals. More basic black Stampin' dimensionals. I love these. I hope they carry on into other publications. I don't know that they will though, so if it's something that you want to have in your stash, order them up. Okay, we're gonna budge that right up against the dome. And now we have left to do some decorating. Let's tie a bow with the crushed curry seam binding. We'll adhere that on with some mini glue dots. It's such a fine, soft material. One will probably do. Just put it on that corner of my snow globe base there, and then tuck the ribbon in. Cut off the excess. Now open if you dare. Let's get that kind of nudged up against so it looks like a tag. I'm gonna grab a couple more dimensionals. Now all that's left is to decorate with our bats and moons. Or bats and stars, really. We've only got one moon. Let's glue the moon on, multi-purpose liquid glue. And you can do as many stars as you like. 3 or 5 are probably best. Odd numbers. I like odd numbers. When I glue my little bats, I like to fold their wings up, put a bit of multi-purpose liquid glue on the body. And I think they kind of need to circle around the moon, so we'll put them right there in the moon. All right, there it is. There's our Open If You Dare Halloween snow globe shaker. If you got questions about the project or the product or about joining Stampin' Up! The Kitchenettes, email Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. To shop 24/7, you can buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching.